Fort Doman not gonna be here tonight?
He's off.
Huh?
He's off.
He's off tonight? And where did Chief go? Okay, it is 7:06. It is May 14, 2018. And this is our regular meeting for City Council of Idaho Springs. Can I have roll call, please?
Michael Hillman.
Here.
Scott Pennell.
Here.
Tracy Stokes.
Here.
Bob Baldwin. Oh.
He's here.
Mike Buick.
Here.
John Curtis.
Here.
Jason Siegel.
Here.
All right, please stand with us for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bob is here.
Right, Bob?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we have an agenda in front of us. One thing that I do down under the letter of interest from Patty Tyler, I'm going to table that. I want to wait until the board meets tomorrow night, right? And let them appoint board members and hash out before we appoint any alternates. Okay? Okay. So we'll take that off of there. And that's it. Can I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the agenda for May 14th, 2018 meeting as amended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Does anybody feel that they have a conflict of interest tonight? No? Hearing none. We have minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the regular meeting minutes from April 23, 2018.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Does everybody have anything in the
It looked good to me.
minutes? Diane, you just tear it up. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
All in favor, in the discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we will move down to the bills. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve bills to May 14th, 2018.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, discussion.
The third line, I guess, John's not here, but cold asphalt, that's not for...
That's cold patch.
That's
Bill's
just
filling in
for
potholes.
And that radio communications contract is for the year, right? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Anybody else have any questions?
Oh, the Happy Cities final report. Do we have any information on that? What was that all about?
That was for that workshop in the fall that was done over at the United Center. That
Oh,
was
okay.
And that'll be a
a
reimbursement.
pass-through, so
Yeah.
100%
Pass through on
reimbursed,
that.
yes.
All right.
Anybody else see anything that they would like to talk about?
How much is showing outdoor spill caddies?
What,
On page 14, their USA Blue Book.
It's a secondary containment unit for polymer drums that we have, so chemical drums, we just put them on a caddy. If it leaks, it'll go into the secondary containment so it doesn't get on the ground.
Okay, we're here.
Anybody else? Roll call.
Michael Hillman.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Tracy Stokes. Yes. Bob Baldwin.
Yes.
Mike Buick.
Yes.
John Curtis. Jason Siegel.
Yes.
All right. Do I have any unscheduled public comment? I think you're on the agenda.
Yeah.
I get your nut, Phyllis. All right, Genevieve Palmer, come on up.
Hi, would you like to come up? Or
Of course, you have to.
You're on camera.
You're on camera.
An audience of tens of thousands.
Name, phone number, social security card. social security number.
Passport, date of birth. Hello, everyone, I'm Genevieve, and I'm here to, you probably already heard, but Nancy, Johnson is resigning as the executive director for the Historic Society, and I am going to be her. So, obviously, those entities, or that entity works very closely with the city, as you were mentioning earlier. And I just wanted to come over and say hello, let you know that I will be down there. Please contact me with anything. I think there are a few things that we do need to do as far as providing Chris with emergency contact information. I didn't know.
Here's a form.
Okay. We'll get that done, and is there anything else that any of you would like from me prior to diving in?
I can't think of anything. You've actually sat on the board,
I have.
so you're familiar with Historic Society and how it functions. And
So, there's a board opening now then?
There's-
Yeah, there is a board.
There is a board opening.
Okay.
Yep.
so were you a current board member that's moving into the new position, or?
Well, of course, I had to resign the position on the board to accept the position.
Okay.
So, and that's
Okay.
done, yep. So,
All right.
his turn and the position is current.
We believe in you.
Well, thanks.
Congratulations.
Let me know again. I'm sure we will all be in touch.
Are you gonna give us an update on the gala?
No?
Oh, you're not?
She's smart. She's gotta get her facts straight
Come
first.
on, give me a minute, friends. Honestly, I started at the end of last week, so I would be hesitant to give you too much of an update on anything as I am sort of still in training and getting some more details on it.
All right, well, happy to have you on, Genevieve. I'm
Thank
sure
you,
you'll do a
Mike. Thank
wonderful
you, everyone
job for
else.
us.
We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Okay, thanks. All right, we will move to the second, comments. This is, oh, Phyllis Adams. Come on up.
We will be having Genevieve on a radio show, and that will get the word out, and technically as well. But I told her I'd give her at least a month to get up to speed.
Please state your name and your,
My name is Phyllis Adams. I am here, I'm an Idaho Springs resident. I'm here on behalf of Food and Fun, who puts on the free barbecue, the summer kickoff, free barbecue and parade. And this is you being the council, your official invitation to be in said
I thought you were
parade.
gonna say notice.
It could be that too.
You've been served.
Now, I'm not over here just as a matter of courtesy. It is Saturday, June 2nd. I know that, Mike obviously will not be with the council this time. He's got this other thing going on. So he'll be elsewhere in the lineup. And I don't know, are you gonna be?
I possibly would be out of town, but we're still trying to hash out the details.
But we'd very much like to have
you want?
the council in the parade. What I would like to know, and I don't have to know tonight, last year I had one of the Public Works pickup trucks there and you all walked. So I'm not gonna bug one of John's guys if you all want to walk.
I'll walk.
Dan's got a lift gate on his.
I rode in the back of the truck.
You took my truck last time.
Well,
Oh.
when you left where I was
Those 2 years.
standing, as everyone pulled out, everyone was walking. So I just want to know it. It's 13th to 17th.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still on a crutch.
And this will be the last year that we'll only go from 13th to 17th. Because next year we'll be going from 13th to the roundabout and all the way back.
Next year we'll be going to wherever I apply
It would
for
definitely be a
service.
public works.
Okay.
Anyway,
You just turn in the application. I'll just,
January 2nd.
All right.
June
See how
2nd.
I got you messed up?
June.
July 2nd,
no, June
June
2nd.
June 2nd, I don't know. Show up down there, one day there'll be a parade.
The 2nd of every month, just go there.
I thought Bob was just kidding when he saw he saw you at the Buffalo.
That'll be later. In any case, the parade steps out at 11, so be down there no later than quarter till.
Quarter
If
to
you
11.
please.
Got it.
Okay.
Phyllis, I'd just like to put out the thank you for you doing this for
Yeah.
This is the 10th annual.
Tenth annual.
This
We've
is,
had a couple times it got rained out.
no,
Well, we postponed it.
we
One
got,
time,
we
at
got
least
rained on
twice.
one time, but Tommyknocker was in the process of their remodeling. And we were able to be in,
Oh, that's
they
right.
had flooring, but it wasn't finished, so we
Did we
weren't.
get rained out one year and come back the next week, or?
Whatever, Mike. 10 years.
But it's been.
Keep it up.
It's been 10 years, and that's something I'm very proud of. This started as an event for the 150th
Yes.
Gold Rush celebration, and it's the only event of the many we had that year that has continued on. So,
Yeah, it's a good
so
one.
I'm very pleased, and I'm sure that Chief Malanka's staff will just love doing another rolling street closure for us. Exactly. So,
All
we'll
right.
see you all on
Awesome.
June 2nd.
At a quarter till 10.
Quarter till 11.
I'm gonna
be
show
there.
up a quarter till 10.
You be there at a
and
quarter
walk
till
around.
10.
Come on.
Everybody else will come at quarter to 11.
Thanks, Phyllis.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bill.
Okay, that's all the unscheduled public comments. We will go next with Miss Quigley. Come on up.
I actually have one unscheduled one. I just didn't raise my hand fast
Oh, you
enough.
did, so
But this
go
is
ahead and
all-
do your unscheduled
Okay.
first.
The unscheduled? I've lived here for 21 years up Highway 103 South. And last summer, I'm sure all you guys are aware that AVA employees are camping right in front of Karen Winter's house. I think it's city property. I thought people weren't allowed to camp on the roadside.
That's
What's good?
actually,
They've already started the
past
demolition.
ABA is actually county,
Yeah.
and we can't enforce.
Well, I think some of them are right inside the sign. And I did talk, actually, we had an incident, and I talked to one of the Fairfield County sheriffs about it, and they said it was a Highway 103 problem, which
Huh.
you guys, you've seen it, right? They're living in their cars all summer.
Chief, recommendation?
I'll have to look at it, cause it must have fluctuated, cause we went back and forth chasing people off. But the deal is, it's a county road, it's a highway. We have jurisdiction up to a certain point, and then it's simply not our property.
I don't think they have sanitary facilities.
They-
They're
we
definitely
know-
living
we
in
can
their
work with
cars.
We know it's problematic,
Yeah,
and the
we
Forest
can work
Service is
with the
actually.
county, we can work with the county and, put it under Aspenly. The problem is the time to call is when it's happening, not, at the beginning of the season. So if we actually had a complaint with each one and a description of the vehicle, because we've knocked on these campers and nobody's in it.
Well, no, but I work real early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and I go by, and, I mean, they're there, their clothes are rolled up in the side of the window, there's lights on, they're having coffee outside, it's like 6 in the morning.
If you call us, we will come, but,
Okay.
you have to remember at any given time, there's one officer working for the entire city.
Okay.
And taking calls and responding to crashes and alarms.
Well,
So
and
if
I'm
you-
not saying it's a super big problem, but I'm just glad I'm
No,
on
but
Karen Winter, I
It's
gotta say
broken,
that.
it's broken windows, we wanna stay on top of it. We've done a really good job in hammering the remote areas and cleaning up properties. So the roadside, we'd be very happy to incorporate that as well, and we do.
We have other rafting companies
Yeah.
that try to camp out, and our officers do enforce that.
Yeah.
The parking lot on 103, the reason that the city has an agreement with CDOT so we can enforce on there, because there were
Okay.
people pulling out mattresses and laying them by their vans, and
I mean, it's right on the highway right away, it's, part of it's in Karen's front yard, I mean, there's one there, and they're double parking now, so that they're actually 2 abreast.
well, like Chief
Heading
said,
north.
please call us, we'll work with the sheriff's
Okay,
department.
so I call the city, I don't call the sheriff.
Well-
I
Just
don't-
call 911.
Just call
Okay,
911.
because
911,
because we don't
yes.
have a 311. We don't have a 311 in this county, so you call 911 and it goes into the queue. And then the next available officer, whether it's a deputy or police officer, will come. Okay, it'd be nice if we had a 311 infrastructure here, but we don't. So it's easy to remember 911 than remember the 303 number. Okay?
Okay.
But if you call, we will come. We chase these campers. If you drove by there today, I think today they had a workshop for their employees. And you're gonna, it was just vans and campers and converted minibuses and things like that. And they're going somewhere. So, it is problematic, you know, and we wanna kind of put the burden on the outfitters, but they don't have the property to accommodate their own people.
Yeah, but they're not being good neighbors, that's all I've gotta say, as a resident who's lived here for a long time.
I agree with
Well,
you.
That is-
I would just say
nobody
one
else
more
will.
thing, Ms. Quigley.
Yeah.
We had a public meeting on that, and you know how many people showed up to oppose it?
Really? Yeah,
Nobody
okay,
came.
well,
Oh,
guess
I take
didn't
that
know
back.
about
We
the
had one
meeting.
letter from I think it's the next door over from the ADA that
Yeah.
sent a letter to it, but nobody else showed up.
Okay, I didn't know about it, or I would've come for sure, but anyway.
Okay?
That's not why I'm on the agenda tonight is I helped Carolyn Jensen manage the Majestic, our local art co-op. We've been there for 31 years and actually we're the longest running art co-op in the state. And we would like to have a little event this summer where we just have a group of our artists set up easels and paint downtown on a Saturday. July 14th was the date that we thought might work. It'll be probably from 11 till early afternoon, or when it rains or people get tired, they're all old. So we'll have easels, probably a chair. I think a lot of them are probably gonna wanna paint in Citizens Park, paint the water wheel. But there may be some that wanna set up on a sidewalk, maybe where that parking space is taken up by the sidewalk. I wouldn't let anybody, infringe on a business's front entryway or be a problem that way. I don't even know whether I need a permit to do that, but I thought
You
it
will
was
have to,
a
if you're gonna
courtesy.
occupy, city property, you have to have a special use permit.
Okay,
So Diane's got the package for you to fill out, it's very simple, and
okay,
we can make it
okay.
happen
All right, and can we hand out little flyers for the gallery,
for the.
promoting the gallery?
Sure,
Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
so you have a package, so I come back during business hours? Okay,
Actually, on our website too.
We like events.
okay.
Will these be artists connected directly to the Majestic, or will other artists who are interested in participating be able to join you?
You know, right now it's just a Majestic.
Okay.
We haven't advertised it. We thought we'd start this way,
Mm-hmm.
see if it's a cool thing to do, and if it is, then maybe make it into something bigger, but once you open that up to people, then we kinda don't have the control and.
Okay.
Yeah, they do something like this in Telluride every year, the Plein Air Festival.
Yeah, that's what it is,
Set up
and
and
it's,
paint the town for.
yeah,
I think
they
it's
do,
cool.
they do it in Moab, I participate in that one. There's a
It's a
lot of
cool
small
concept.
towns, and it would be cool if it turned into something wonderful for the city,
Yeah.
and for the gallery, and for people really are digging it when I paint in Moab on the street, they're loving it,
Yeah.
so.
So if
But
they're
right
just,
now, it's just low key.
Diane, if they're just setting up easels and painting on the street, does that require a permit?
It's occupying city property. All right,
Alright?
and I've gotta ask this question, how are you related to Megan Quigley?
I am her mom.
Oh, you are her?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
She went
I
to
met
school with
you,
my
so,
kid,
yeah,
now
Well,
she
she was
teaches my
in,
kids, and
yeah, exactly. Well, and she was in your older daughter's, they graduated in
Crystal.
2000, Crystal.
One more question, I just wondered about how many participants you are estimating.
Right now, we've only got 6.
Okay, all right, so, yeah, we're not looking at a large number, but I
No.
think it's a great idea.
No, right, alright,
Yeah.
All right.
thank you.
thank you so much.
And I
Looking forward to
promise you, we will-
to the event.
We will get on that tomorrow, we'll start checking regularly, but it would really help us if we got the call.
Oh, yeah, you know, I hate to create a problem, but I feel sorry for the people who live right there. I mean, I'm up early in the morning and I see what those guys are doing. Yeah,
We take it hard. We'll-
okay, alright.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Okay, next on the public comment, we did have a, letter of intent from Megan Vickers. She did serve on the HBRC, and she would like to be reappointed as one of the board members. So,
So how is this different than the Patty Tyler?
because the Patty Tyler is gonna be, I think that we really need to talk about, especially with the group we have, the experiences behind that.
Okay.
And should we be looking for somebody that's got some experience in some of the qualifications that's called out in our,
So how many seats are needed to be filled?
well, Megan would fill the final seat by board member, and we just have 2 alternates.
Okay. So there's one board position, 2 alternate positions open.
Correct.
Okay. And where's the letter of interest from Megan Vickers?
We had it in our packet last time.
Oh, that's right, yeah, you're right.
All we need to do is approve her.
And then we had an HPRC meeting with the new, board members. That would be the Haynes, Chuck Harmon, and,
Rick Wells.
Rick Wells.
Rick Wells, yeah.
All of them have an extensive background, whether it's architecture or with historic preservation. So we really think that we've got a great five-person board. And at their meeting, they'll be appointing the, chair of the board and the vice chair. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve Megan Vickers as a regular member to the HPRC.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Roll call.
Michael Hellman.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Stacy Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland.
Yes.
Mike Buick.
Yes.
John Curtis. Jason Siegel.
Yes.
Motion passes, and we'll fly on down to city administrator.
Mayor and council, you have my report with no requests for action unless you would like to consider, unless you wanna add the memorandum of understanding for Feast on the Creek.
We're gonna have to table that because we didn't do it at the beginning and add it to our agenda.
Okay.
So we'll just put that on our next meeting.
Okay.
All right, anybody have any questions for Andy?
How did the meeting with Scott Sisolo go regarding the?
Good, we're gonna have a follow-up, meeting with them, we're gonna bring in, THK that did the design for the park and get, their ideas about how we can best move forward with, helping them with the community garden, so.
Good attitudes
that's our,
across the board?
next step. Yep.
Cool. Awesome.
Mayor, did you wanna mention the chamber, mixer?
Oh, chamber mixer will be Wednesday night. It's gonna be a co-op with the city and the wildfire. We're gonna tag team it. We were gonna have it just as a city here, but this, venue was taken up on Wednesday night, so we couldn't do it here. So we're gonna take it down to wildfire, and the wildfire will sponsor half of it, and the city will sponsor half of it. So 5:30 to 7:30 or so. Please be there. It's our event that we're sponsoring, so let's show up and show our support for the chamber. Anything else, Andy?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy.
City clerk,
Mayor and council, I have my staff report with no request for action.
any questions for Diane?
Susan Katie?
Huge loss.
Yeah, everybody did get that note? Katie has, put her
Yes, yeah.
letter of resignation in. Okay. All right, thanks, Diane. PD.
Mayor and council, I apologize, I just gave you my report this evening. Nothing major to report other than, Officer Ron Baylor is on his own. And we are seeing, you know, very empathetic to, what we just heard, but we just got inundated with all the Raptors again, so I'll make visits with them and just remind them. Some of the properties actually have room for these guys to camp on their property at night to park, but, you know, they prefer that they not. But we'll stay on top of the, you know, the impacts and mitigation.
Very good, thanks, Chief.
Good enough, thank you.
One thing I'd like to mention is, Andy and myself and Chief attended the Lyle Woolers, law enforcement recognition event. Went really well. Our officer, Ryan Frost, got the
Superior Service Award.
Superior Service Award.
Okay.
It was really nice to see that the other agencies really appreciated Ryan, gave him hugs, and you can tell that he's out there working with these guys, and they have a great relationship, so that's nice to see.
Yeah,
We
it
need
is.
that.
Fantastic. You know, one thing I just want to mention, your report has a list of upcoming events, which
Yes.
is really complete. I like that, I appreciate it. It is going to be a busy summer.
Okay, thanks, Chief. We will move to Public Works. John, you got anything for us? John? I'll say a few things. Colorado Boulevard is moving along. As you saw, we got a heck of a lot of asphalt laid. last weekend, with a few complaints, but not too many. I think people, businesses, residents of this community are really appreciating seeing that. So we're down to about, I'd say 1,500 feet of paving through the park and then Old Miner. So they're preparing all that. It's probably gonna be towards the mid-June before they actually get back out here to pave. So as they're cleaning the pit up, we can really kind of look down the street to see how
They
they
still got for like a parking lot and everything.
And I think they were forming that today,
Oh, are they?
forming that the next day.
Yeah, I was
or two.
wondering what they were doing.
And then they are already starting, and this is a sign that when you start talking about punch lists,
Yeah.
then you know they're starting to get close, you know.
Yeah.
So they, in our last weekly meeting, they had a few punch list items. They said we're just gonna go full force with it and
Yeah.
start identifying what we need to start looking at. That's gonna be
Awesome.
filling in where stamped concrete is.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be having tomorrow a discussion about benches and trash cans.
Oh, cool.
Is that being
I think that got moved to Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Because what we've been talking about is how we would like everything to kind of blend and
Right.
be consistent,
Some congruency.
and how we'll manage that. So we'll have that discussion tomorrow and bring it back to the council.
Yeah, but some pedestrian amenities along the route.
Yes,
Sidewalks,
yes.
yeah.
Have benches, trash
Traffic.
cans, make bicycle racks, things like that.
Love it.
Okay.
Is your motion you have to approve for him?
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah. Okay, and one action item from Public Works. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve $14,248 to 10 Point Sales and Marketing LLC for a SD 800 valve exerciser from line item 557-7421.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
That thing's with,
I'm sorry?
to keep the water valves exercised, it's worth it.
It's worth it? Okay. No more discussion, roll call.
Michael Hill.
Yes.
Scott Pennell.
Yes.
Tracy Stokes.
Yes.
Bob Boland.
Yes.
Mike Buick.
Yes.
John Curtis.
Yes.
Jason Segel.
Yes.
Water and wastewater, Dan?
Mayor and council, I refer you to my report and the request for action.
Everything's going well with the screw press and
Screw press is running really well.
running really well.
We're surprised at how much we're saving.
We cleaned up the sloshed out of the back of the truck a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was kind of a non-event.
Yeah,
Better
But-
safe than sorry.
that's right.
Well, you were anticipating some pretty big savings and you're surprised.
We were, yeah, we're actually, I think we could probably see some more savings out of it. So
great.
once we get it dialed in, hopefully it'll look a little bit better.
Great,
All right, thanks, Dan.
great news.
One thing that I would just throw out there, we had on Monday, a meeting of the municipalities and the agents in the special districts from Clifford County as a whole to go over and sort through to see if there's any, potential of shared services. So that was kind of a long and, I'm not gonna say it, 838 services that the county provides. Now, some of them, they only spend $20 a year on.
Right.
So, I wish they would have listed, about 100 of them and been done with it. Through that meeting, we have kind of been approached by a couple of communities and, sharing services could be a good idea. And we had a good discussion with St. Mary's. They're asking, since we have the best ORC in the state, to maybe take on, and also the school district has asked if we'd be interested in maybe taking care of their wastewater plants for them. Of course, not at a cost, it's a contract. And so we're gonna have Dan, what that would do is lower their costs, what they're doing, plus bring more money into the city. And we would look and see if it's equitable to even do it.
That would bring money into the city.
Well, like right now, they're paying $200,000 up in St. Mary's, and I don't think Dan just about fell over when he found out they were paying that much to manage that,
Oh, they're paying
subway.
somebody else. Oh, I see.
And if we could save them a little bit of money, plus bring money into our
I see what you're
coffers.
saying. Okay.
So I think it's very important in this day and age in our county to start looking at things like that. Especially the position that the county's in, and it can help the city out too. I mean, it's great.
I have a question for Dan real quick. This last thing that you notated about the at-home coliform test, is there a way that if somebody does want to test their water at home, is there a recommended?
Call the city and we will test your water.
Alright, what about people that don't?
Want to call you, you don't want to test, what do you do with that?
I would not recommend doing it yourself because you're gonna get a false positive
Yeah.
98.
Oh, I know. So they could just call the city if they want their water tested and they'll come down?
That's for anybody you charge for the price of the test is not very much.
Okay. Excellent.
All right, nothing else,
One comment, I always like it when Diane reports the city sales tax continues to increase.
I took care of it
well,
personally.
last month we had a decrease, if you noticed, we had, last year was
Extremely minor, but,
about 13,000 down last month and 23,000 this month.
yeah, it's.
But overall,
Very
I looked
healthy,
at it,
very healthy.
we're
So,
about 3.5% up for the year so far, the first quarter.
which is quite a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah, so, I just like to point that out.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay, 7:36,
Sorry. We do have a few agenda items for next week for work session.
okay,
And then our next regular meeting date falls on Memorial Day holiday, which is a holiday, city holiday.
so we won't have a meeting on that day. We need to talk about it next week, and see if we want to do it on Tuesday.
Just wanted to.
And there may be some items on the agenda that we need to get approved, so we may have to go ahead and have that Tuesday meeting. If there's any action items that can't wait. Okay. 7:38. Meeting adjourned. Before anybody else raises their hands. Thanks, everybody.
Well, if we have a meeting on Tuesday night, that won't give us enough time to, hey, Mayor Mike,
Yes.
if we have a meeting on Tuesday night, we're like, we're time to post. If we decide to have a meeting,
No, I've never been up to, not to St. Mary.